In the near future, every aspect of human life has reached perfection. Boredom is a magical pill solution from the future that gives humans the options to experience moments of imperfection and mediocrity, something considered exotic, distant, and extinct. Welcome to Boredom, a game that lets people like you and I experience mediocrity and inconvenience at its finest. You play as this perfected being who bought some boredom at your local Walmart pharmacy since human life became perfected in the near future. Of course, I doubt that. Each pill brings a different experience of mediocrity or inconvenience in everyday life for your leisure, thanks to Goblin Rage, aka the developer. So you watch an ad as an intro about boredom, a magic pill that lets you experience the things I just said a couple seconds ago. Isn't that neat? So equip your senses and be prepared for boredom as we eat some pills. Wait, what the fuck? So we'll start with the first one, the intro pill, which is basically a tutorial that tells you how to use your senses: sight, smell, sound, taste, and touch. Also telling you other useful tips that I shall ignore for the remainder of this video.
Spaghetti-O!
The next one is the Oops Pack, where we can enjoy oopsie daisies and spaghettios, and everything goes wrong. Starting off the sword dome for us to swing a sword around and... oh. The next one is the Excrement Dome, which has a pile of shit on the floor, and it leads us to a dilemma: step on it or step on it. The third dome, the Vase Dome, gives us a chance to be clumsy and break the vase. The fuck am I stuck on? The last one for the Oops Pack is the Interruption Dome, where we can be a peculiar character and interrupt this fine gentleman's performance by clapping. I lied. This is the last one, where there's a large hole in the middle of the room, and yeah, that's really it. Nothing special.
Wow! The land of make-believe!
The next pill pack is the Pretendo pack, where we can now pretend about things and see from an outsider's perspective, and in out-of-body experiences. The first dome we enter for this pack is the Run Dome, which allows us to sprint, but there's a catch. There's a chance that running will There's a chance that running will make you fall over, which happens a lot, so don't expect running to be as common as you may think for this video. The next one is the Easy Win Dome, where we simply press a button and win. Our third dome is the Out-of-Body Dome, where we can look from an outsider's perspective and oh hello. So yeah, the outsider's perspective is more or less exchanging camera angles, and now, the real fun begins. Moving on from that into the correct answer dome, where there's this clown in this room and that's got some questions for us, and we have some answers for him. Fucking, that's not even a question. What? What do you mean what? You're the one with the questions here. What's the question? This piece of shit. Are you winning? Yes.
Correct!
No. So after goofing off with the outsider's perspective, we move on to the Hill Dome, where a boulder lies at the top of the hill, being what I assume is a reference to Albert Camus' work, The Myth of Sisyphus. The Myth of Sisyphus is a philosophical essay from 1942 that introduces the philosophy of absurdism that has a hint of nihilism and existentialism. The essay itself is about a man named Sisyphus who deceived the Greek gods on multiple occasions and is punished to repeatedly push a boulder up a hill, only for it to roll back down to the bottom for him to do it all over again for all of eternity. But what is absurdism about? Absurdism is where the idea of existence is just absurd, in the context that life is meaningless or is devoid of a higher power and can't be made out by reason. That the world is just mediocre as we slug around doing the same thing we always do every day, only to take a step back and think about our value in a bigger context. That the basic things we do have value to us, but in the grand scheme, it's really nothing of value. So what does this have to do with the video? Yeah, I have no idea. While I was saying all that, I was trying to hit this skeleton with this boulder. Due to how short this pack is from recording, I'm pairing this pack up with baked beans, but going away from that, the Hula Hopes pack, where we get to experience simple events that can happen, mostly revolving around parties -2 for some reason. So the first dome we get into is the Happy Birthday dome, where we unlock empathy, where we can see from another perspective, this time from other people. We move into the gift dome next, where there's just nothing but gifts in this dome, and yeah, that's the whole dome. Next is the elevator dome, where we stare at this goblin for a long, uncomfortable amount of time. Yeah, it turns out I was supposed to talk to him to get to the next dome. Now we're in the sad party, where we could do the thing that everyone does on Twitter. Cry. Wait, why are my tears solid? The last dome in Hula Hopes is the doorbell dome, where it's pretty straightforward, so I'm just gonna skip this one. Now we move on to the Baked Beans pack, where we get placed in some mediocre scenarios, starting with the home dome where we exist in our home. You know, the one that was shown at the beginning of the game. Also, don't even tell me how you can sit on those chairs. Like, look at how, spherical they are. Let alone the bed. After that, we go into the smoking dome, where we do a fun thing called smoking. After a couple of smokes, we go inside the construction dome, where these 3 fine gentlemen are doing work without the tools. Now we go into the fly dome, where you can spawn in a bunch of flies, which I regretted doing shortly after. After going insane over the flies, we go into the library dome. And our dome is pretty self-explanatory, but we also unlock the new ability to rip ass. Oh god damn it! Next up is the Q dome, which is basically a line we have to wait in since British people call lines queues for some reason. So then we get into the waiting dome, where we just wait. This fucking fly. Gonna fucking kill it. I am going to kill this goddamn fly. Come on, fuck! It's fucking fly, man. Get fucked, piece of shit. Next on the list is the Mumble Pack, where we do even more simple stuff in everyday life. First up is the Sleep Dome, where we simply close our eyes and sleep. Okay, yeah, I've done this joke way too many times. After breaking the game, we move on to the Trash Dome, where there's just a bunch of garbage. Then we play hide and seek with this clown, where you use empathy to see where the clown is hiding. Then we walk into the walk dome where we just walk in circles, and after some walking, we go and take a shower. Okay, we have these 3 packs left, so I'll just speed it up. Sound good? Good. So we go into the exclamation dome where we have to expect the unexpected. Starting off with the easy lose dome, which is pretty much the opposite of the easy win dome from earlier. Then we go into the bathroom where we unlock the focus ability, but you're going to hallucinate more than focus. I swear, there is a person on that wall. Like, just look at it. Then we get into the good morning dome where we just say good morning to people. Then we get into the work dome and oh motherfucker. Then we get into the wind dome where your movement's hindered by the wind. Then the final dome for exclamation is the egg dome where it's just a bunch of eggs. The second to last one is the dungeon pack where we have to deal with obstacles. The labyrinth dome is first and it's just a big maze that leads up to the center where we unlock help. Then there's the thunder dome where this giant cloud of rain just follows you around. Then we get into the virus dome where I would make a COVID joke, but then
朋友是一个基
will try to kill me. Then there's the path dome where we have to follow the specific path, but I didn't feel like it. Then we get to the stair dome where there's just a big flight of stairs. God damn it. Then we get to the final dome, which is the well dome, where there's pretty much just a well. That's it. Then we get to the final pack, which is basically packed of flies that has to make you think. First up is the true love dome, where we answer a clown's question if you ever find love. So I remind the clown that it's a clown. Then we get into the life and death dome, where you're dead and slow.
Hell no.
Then we get to the mirror dome, where we see our perfected form. Then we get to the last dome, which is nothing. Yep, there's nothing left here. This is it. Just an empty void. A sea of nothing. The end. Where it's just you and the abyss. Left in our sickened state to linger here forever alone. The simple concept that we'll meet in time. I mean, there's this fly who's still here, so I guess we aren't alone. Maybe I was too harsh on the fly, since it followed me to the end. It didn't give up and leave, even when I did. I'm sorry, fly. No, I'll give it a name. Roger. I'm sorry, Roger. So, about the game. I say it's worth the $10 if you go into the game for an experience rather than anything crazy. It's more or less pretty short, and while its goal was to be mediocre, you can get a lot out of it, and in a way, the game is almost surreal with the situations that were present. Almost like art, in a way. Anyways, I'll leave the game in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. Alright, you can go now. Wait, what the